Well, we were going to start a video, but now we're playing fetch with the cat.
Yes. Oh, I'll put it under there again. Ah. Oh! Hi.
Oh, this is going to end well. You look a little tired from you're chasing the cat around the house.
Yeah, she's got a lot of energy.
Well, if you're done playing fetch with the cat, we can get started on this flight. Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie. What are we calling this baby?
I've got a bunch of different names
Great.
for it. Ideally, it's all about seeing what Wild Turkey's rare breed will stand up to. It's one of the best bourbons on the shelf in that $40 to $50 range, and I just love it all the time. And I'm always looking for what can topple it. So, I don't know, what do you... The Wild Turkey Takedown,
Oh, I like that.
the Rare Breeders' Cup,
Feel like that one's taken?
might be something like that is taken.
I feel like that's like a golf thing or something.
Yeah, you're probably right. I don't watch a lot of golf.
So we're gonna nose the glasses, taste them one way, taste them the other way. Do you want to introduce the bottles?
Yeah, I will do that. First up is Wild Turkey Rare Breed, which you already know. And by the way, all these bottles, what they have in common is they're between 109 proof and 119 proof. And price-wise, they're all between $45 and $60, at least locally. Besides Wild Turkey, we've got Remus Highest Rye, the 6-year bourbon. We've kind of been putting that in flights left and right here lately, simply because we want to know how it stacks up against other whiskeys. It is a $55 bottle, and it's relatively new, so we're just kind of putting it into all these flights to see how it does. Next up is Noah's Mill. You've never seen that bottle on the Bourbon Van. That is actually a gift from a very fine gentleman by the name of David Babcock. Thank you so much for sending that bottle to us, and we're finally getting some use out of it. It's been a little while.
The only time I've ever seen it is when we visited the distillery.
And last up, Blue Note Single Barrel. This is a bourbon that's distilled in Kentucky. We picked it up in Tennessee a while back. It's been a couple of years now. And again, we never talk about this bottle. We're finally putting it in a flight because we'd like to see how it stacks up against these other bottles that are in its price range, in its proof range. Let's get on to the nose. By the way, that noise you hear in the background is the cat absolutely destroying the house today.
She slept all day, so she's ready for recording.
Yeah, just in time for us to record a video.
Norman used to like to sit on our lap. She just likes to be background noise.
She brought me a spring.
She loves those Storm Springs.
Oh boy.
I just got onto the nose. I gotta ignore the cat at some point.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time with the nose here. We got some big proof today.
Yeah, it smells proofy, oaky, vanilla.
Nutty. I get some distinct nuttiness on that one.
This one smells a lot different.
Oh, this one smells like earthiness.
Yeah, I was gonna say my initial was the beach. Seaside, a breezy seaside.
Grassy. This one smells grassy to
Yeah.
me. This one smells good. This smells like some fruit.
Yeah, I like this one. Fruity, oaky.
Yeah, a little more well balanced. Certainly coming off of glass number 2 there that has so much weirdness to it, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I also like. Ooh,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
nuttiness in this one. I was like, oh, I really like this one, and then all of a sudden,
I don't know. I think this one's pretty well balanced.
yeah, little
Fruit,
subtle.
spice, oak, a little more subtle. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. All right, I'm going to make a couple notes on these and we'll get on with the tasting. Well, that was an adventure. Chased the cat toy under the refrigerator. Never did get it back. Can only imagine how many of her toys the refrigerator has claimed.
On to glass number 1.
Cheers.
Cheers. I like this one.
It's like an extra strength payday bar.
Wow, and I'm not actually getting all that much nuttiness on this. I got a little bit of almost grape.
There's a fruitiness there, fruit presence.
It's warm, but I'm actually kind of enjoying the heat. It's not like just a bitter heat or just like a train coming in. It's just like a nice warmth.
Yeah, absolutely. It coats nice. It's a little intense, but it is, you're right, it's flavorful. It's not overwhelming the flavor there.
Right.
Nice whiskey.
Not a huge finish, I don't think. Because for the flavors I was getting, I expected it to just be lingering on my tongue, and it doesn't. It just kind of evaporates a bit.
Yeah, drink's a little thin considering how hot it seems.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think this is nice.
It is nice. Actually, the fruit is showing up more in the finish after that second sip. Not bad.
Yeah. I don't know what I was expecting.
Oh,
It is
man.
an interesting nose.
So grassy.
It's a little bit of an adventure, that one. It was definitely grassy at the initial sip. Then it was like cherry candy, like Jolly Ranchers. And then it kind of went grassy again.
Yeah, it's
A little
almost
lemony,
like,
too.
do you remember when Harry Potter, when those movies started coming out, and there was the Bertie Bott's every flavor beans,
Yeah.
the jelly beans? You could actually buy them, and some of them were exceedingly gross. There was a grass flavored one.
Huh.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
And I don't... It's super artificial fruit sweetness. Very little traditional bourbon flavor there.
Yeah, I would agree.
And it actually goes a little bit bitter on the back end. I think maybe it doesn't go that bitter. Maybe it just goes kind of back to normal or back to a baseline flavor that you would recognize because it's so sweet on the palate.
Mm-hmm. There's almost a syrupy flavor on this. It's like a molasses or just like not like a super appealing flavor.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. It's very unusual.
It is very unusual. I think I'm going to need to let this one sit, come back, and try it again.
Yeah, it might not. It's kind of one of those flights where we're right in the middle of it going, oh boy, one of these things is not like the other ones. I feel like I just got done mowing the lawn.
Well, we've got fruity next. That was my one word nosing note. Oh, there's nice fruit. There's nice fruit on this palate too.
Ooh, fruit, spice, balance, sweetness, oak. Natural fruit flavor, nothing overwhelming here, a little vanilla. That's quite nice.
Yeah, I wrote fruit, vanilla, spice, balanced.
Balanced.
Same thing.
Yeah, exceedingly balanced. Wow, glass number 3. Maybe it's just because glass number 2 was so weird.
Yeah.
And glass number 1 was so unexpected. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I'm drinking bourbon again.
Yeah, I mean, I agree on that. My first sip, it didn't last very long either, so the finish is not exceedingly long on this, so that would be a tick in the other direction. But I liked everything it presented on my first sip.
That's a nice whiskey.
There's a hint of tobacco in there too.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was a longer finish. I think the flavors are all there, and I want them to stick around longer.
Yeah, I like a whiskey that's not overly sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I like a whiskey that's not super one-dimensional.
Yeah.
I think this has nice elements to it. I think it offers you something at every point on the palate, and I think I'm with you that the finish, I get a lot of spice hanging around on the finish.
Yeah.
That's where it becomes sort of one-dimensional.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's a very solid whiskey. Nice. Ooh.
Man, I like the nose of this one.
I do too. It's got a richness that it didn't have before when we first nosed these glasses.
It has a bit of a creme brulee nose now.
There's something to look forward to for sure.
It's a bit of a chameleon. Oh boy, I was not expecting that that flavor off of that nose.
Interesting.
Whoa, what's it?
Wow, that went real strange.
Oh, I'm not saying that I didn't like it. I'm just saying that I didn't expect it to taste the way that it tasted. And
One
I
of these
feel
things
really,
is-
I feel really bad about this one now.
One of these things is not like the other one, and then there's another one that's not like the other ones, and then there's another one that's not like the other ones.
Jeez
These
Louise.
are so radically different, all of these. 3 of these come from Kentucky, 1 of them comes from Indiana. All 4 come from different distilleries.
Yeah.
That's that's showing up.
Yeah, 2 of the 4 I literally have no idea what they would taste like.
Yeah.
And this one I should have expected this because my initial nose note was it was nutty, and boy did that come through on the
Did you
palate.
get a lot of nuts on this one?
Oh yeah.
I didn't really get that nuttiness.
I was thinking this was going to be fruity for some reason. I don't know what I was thinking.
This one does have sort of an overripe apricot thing happening for fruit. There's a dark brown sugar there. There's a lot to pick out in this one. It coats nice. Somehow, this is going to sound weird, but it's like peaches and cream if it was just left out for too long.
Yeah.
And it's not in a terrible way.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the only thing I can compare it to.
The second sip was a lot better for me.
Oh, good.
I think I got over the initial shock of what it was going to taste like because I wasn't expecting that.
It defied the nose for sure.
It totally. And I am finding it a bit spiky. The flavors are just a little bit rough.
A little rough, yeah. A little rough and ready.
Yeah. My goodness. That one took me on a ride. Where my harness wasn't fully secured. And I'm like, woo! I might fall out of the roller coaster.
Do we need to put a seatbelt on your drinking chair over here?
Honey roasted nuts on glass number 4 is what I'm gonna end that one with.
Really?
Yeah. I know our
want some
palates
of
are a
that.
little different today.
Well, we're just getting back into the groove here after 23 or 24 straight days of Advent Tournament head-to-head intense whiskey tasting. So it makes sense that our palates are a little...
They shouldn't be rusty. I feel like drinking a whole month straight, I should be on top of my game, but...
There might be a bit of fatigue there. Also, it's been a couple of weeks since the tournament. There is no nuttiness there. It's a good call-out. I don't know. I think that's a fine whiskey. I think it's tasty. and I do like the way it coats. I like that.
All right, I'm ready for number 3.
Oh, I'm going to cleanse my palate. Go on without me. I'll catch up.
Famous last words. Julie's done with all her glasses. You're still on number 3.
Did you finish any of these yet?
No. This, I don't have any, glass number 3 is nice. I really don't need to drink it more. It's really nice. I wish the finish was longer. That's what I want to say. I think it's a fine whiskey. I like the flavors. It tastes like bourbon.
Doesn't jump out of the glass in any way.
Doesn't jump out. It's not jumping out at me. I wish the finish was longer, but I like it.
I think it's, yeah, I like it. It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
fine.
I would drink this.
Yeah. There you go. Bourbon Bandit's seal of approval right there.
Yeah. All right, let's explore the seaside. The coastline.
Here
I
comes
don't know.
the grasslands.
Oh boy.
I'm trying to be fair with this one and to really parse flavors, because even though it doesn't really belong in this challenge here, I'm still trying to judge it very fairly. I'm finding that exceedingly difficult.
It's a little bit dry. There's a bit of like cocoa, not sweetened, unsweetened cocoa on this.
Yeah.
I don't not like this one. It's kind of weird. And in this lineup, it's very weird. So
I wonder if we would like that in the summertime. Maybe like, picture this.
We're being awfully nice right now.
Picture the sun shining, you're in a tank top. You're reaching for that whiskey in glass 2?
No.
Okay, Bourbon Van, not seal of approval.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. It's flavorful.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me.
It does have that going for it.
I was gonna say, let me do the positive notes. I do like what this whiskey is offering.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of flavors. There's some like lemon, and we've got the grassy notes, so it's a bit earthy, a bit citrusy. But then there is something like you're having like dry tobacco leaves, and there's a little bit of molasses in there, and so we are like covering.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
It's just a strange whiskey.
It is. It's strange. I'm trying to be positive.
Every time we do a 4-bottle flight, it seems like glass number 1, we launch into it and go, oh, that's really, really intense. And then when we come back the other direction, we go, oh, no, we were wrong about that one. It's actually quite well balanced. It's actually really, really good. We're about to find out. That's nice. It reminds me a bit of that like dried peanut butter, like the dry like. Mm-hmm. It's such a weird concept to me.
Yeah.
If it's not buttery, how can it be peanut butter? I need a scientist. Do you still like this one?
I do like this one. I'm thinking about this one a little bit more. It's kind of similar to glass number 3, whereas that I'm wishing the flavors are all there, but I'm wishing when I drank them, they were stronger. Because on the nose, it's really strong. It's a warm one, so I'm getting the warmth of the proof, but I just want a little bit more flavor.
I like what it's doing to the front of my tongue.
Yeah.
And the intensity hangs around, even though the flavor doesn't. There's a little bit of flavor hanging around there on my tongue after the sip. The finish is there. It's mostly just proof spice.
Yeah.
That's what it leaves you with. It's a bummer because I think that this glass has a lot to offer. It may even be my favorite flavor profile of the bunch. I would like more on the finish. It leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, the finish and the 1 and 3 for me. I want more finish.
Yes.
I will say that this one would probably serve it best if it was A/B tested over the other ones, because we did just drink that really strong, flavorful glass number 2, and you can cleanse your palate all you want, but those notes stick around.
Yeah, it's time to A/B test, and that could not be happening soon enough over here. Glass 2, I'm going to take it fully out of the mix for the A/B test, at least until the very end. Let these 3 duke it out. I think that's the way to do it.
I have an initial order already.
Me too.
But when we do a little bit of testing here, we'll see how that pans out.
I'm actually ready. I have an order, and I'm happy with it. This was a fun blind.
This was fun. This was a lot different than I thought it was going to be.
I'm about to finish at least 2 of these glasses during a flight. That doesn't ever happen, so I definitely enjoyed myself today.
I am ready. This was actually trickier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
There were things that I liked about all of them. One was a very strange whiskey, but there was also things that I disliked about all of them, and that makes it trickier.
I completely agree. There was one that I felt like was a bit of a slam dunk here, simply because it only had like one tick mark against it, whatever that might have been.
Yeah.
Let's count off fourth place here, because I think we're probably going to be on the same page in this one, even though it's not really fair. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, glass number 2. I like to write one word to describe my experience with a whiskey. For that one, I wrote, huh? It's so grassy. It's so different. It doesn't fit at all in here, and I have a feeling that when we check out the letter on this glass, that we're both going to be in the same boat, that this is a Willet product.
Yeah, there was just too much going on. That's what I want to say. There's too much going on in that glass that it almost was confusing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that that's probably a nice whiskey on its own.
Yes.
If you're not drinking anything else.
Yeah.
But the minute you start bringing other bourbons into it from other distilleries, you're going to have a weird experience. And this is glass letter D, as in dope.
All right. D is Noah's Mill.
We obviously have zero experience with that whiskey, and it showed. So on to third place. Let's push that one forward in just a second. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, we split there. I wonder if we just flipped our 2 and 3 together.
It's possible. I struggled with 2 and 3.
3, 2, 1. Yeah,
okay,
that's what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so we both have glass number 1 in first. And let's find out what's in the middle here. My third place, I said, a little bit boring. And my second place said, it had a nice experience, not all that great, I didn't think. I didn't think that either one of those was really at top tier level. I thought that there were fine examples of a tasty whiskey. Good enough.
Yeah, and I stick to what I said during the tasting. This glass over here, which is your second place, that honey roasted nuts for me was just too much in the end. Like, I thought the flavors were really great in here. It's not my palate choice. Even though my glass number 3, I want a longer finish on this. That is what we're lacking on this. The flavors were really nice and definitely hit my palate better.
Okay, fantastic. So let's find out what glass number 3 is.
Yes.
That is letter A.
Okay.
And glass number 3 was third for me, second for you.
Yep. And A is the Remus.
Okay, so Remus comes up third for me. I've been saying about that whiskey all along. I think it's very nice, but we get it for $55 here. I'd like to see that sell for $45. It's just 66 years, nice age statement. I love a lot of the things about it, but that bottle, I think it's just priced a little higher than I would like to see it.
Yeah.
And then that takes us to glass number 4. This is my second, your third.
Yep.
And it's B.
And for B, we have the Blue Note.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting about that whiskey is that I don't drink it all that often. It's 119 and I believe a half proof. That's a big proof point. And that scares me off on, like, say, a Tuesday.
Yeah.
But I remember that whiskey being really, really intense at that proof point. This didn't strike me that way.
No, I don't know if it's opened up a little bit since we first cracked the bottle, but I thought the flavors were delightful. I really liked it. Like, it doesn't drink like 119 proof.
No, not at all.
The flavors of all of these, I think that they probably had the most pronounced flavors in the Blue Note.
There was a lot to find.
Yeah, there was a lot to find there. The notes that I did find I really enjoyed. There was just a few things that I didn't particularly enjoy, and that's why you moved it forward, and I held it back.
That is how whiskey works. And that, by the way, Blue Note, they don't sell that here in Oregon.
No.
So we got that one in Tennessee a couple years ago, and I keep seeing people bragging about it online, talking about how great it is, and now I understand what they're talking about. That's probably the surprise of the day for me, because what I wouldn't be surprised by is that glass number 1 has finished first for both of us. It's letter C, as in, come on, tell me that's Wild Turkey Rare Breed.
It is the Wild Turkey Rare Breed. We love this bottle.
Love the bottle. It is tied, actually, for lowest price. We got that bottle here for $45. We got the Blue Note for $45 as well, which is saying something. There you go. The cheaper whiskeys have won out today, and sometimes we would call that a surprise. I'm not going to say I'm shocked by it today.
I'm not surprised. When I saw the lineup, I thought, ooh, Rare Breed's gonna, she's a dynamo.
She is a dynamo. Yeah. What better way to say it?
Yeah.
Continues to be that blue-collar, mid-shelf beauty that just works so hard and gets the job done. What more can you say about Wild Turkey? What more can you say about Rare Breed? Let us know, have you tried these 4 whiskeys? Which is your favorite? Put them in order. Let us know in the comments from wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's fun. Yeah, it's good.
It's tasty.
So tasty. Are you ready for even more Bourbon Van? Join us on Patreon for as little as $3 a month and come travel the world and drink whiskey with us.